All right, Norm MacDonald. Definitely like this guy. He's a very unpolitically correct comedian. I think he's taken a lot of hits for this. I think he's lost some jobs because of that, because we live in such a politically correct age. But because he's not politically correct, he's one of the few comedians that can actually be funny today, and not just stand up there and rant and rave um, moralism, all right, or SJWism. All right, so this is him, his approach to religion and philosophy. I'm curious what he has to say.
To answer the question that's plagued mankind since the dawn of time, a nightclub comic.
Fair enough.
Makes sense. Apparently, between Bill Maher is hanging out with whores and smoking weed, he's done a little amateur theologian.
Okay, that's hilarious to me. And it's a good sign of what's always good about Norm Macdonald. In a way, he sets it up where he's self-deprecating to himself, right? Like, who should be best to answer this age-old question? Who's God? But a comedian, a late club comedian. It's great. So he's self-deprecating. I'm about to talk religion, and who am I to be an authority on it? But then he punts it off to make fun of Bill Maher, who clearly has made himself in some ways to be some authoritarian on God. He made a whole documentary called Religulous, which was just completely to bash religion, in particular Christianity. So pretty cool. I like the way he set that up. Kind of first talking bad about himself, so that when he then talks bad about Bill Maher, it doesn't seem like he's being mean, right? Because he's already put himself down, which just it's a cool move. Norm's usually pretty good at doing stuff like that.
It's so clear, what the fuck? It's either nothing or something. So you go, there's only two things. You gotta look at the evidence, right? You go, what's the evidence that God exists? None. Well, that's not good. So then you go, hey, what's the evidence God does not exist? None. So it's equal. So then one of them is for sure right.
Yep.
Fucked, because just a hazard a guess at that point.
Okay, so obviously I need to do this. Contradict, they can't all be true. Contradict, they can't all be true. Book I wrote. Anyways, what he just said plays perfectly into that. You got these two statements: God exists, God does not exist. These two statements can't both be true. A, non-A. Can't be both. That's the law of non-contradiction. So, love it. So we'll see where he keeps going. I could talk about the evidence. Maybe I'll save time to talk about the evidence after this thing.
No evidence at all. So what I do is I try to look for, if I have two choices, I'll say, what do you got? And the guy goes, when you die, you go up and you play a harp on a cloud. And I go, God damn, I always want to play a harp. What do you got? What happens when I die under your plan? Well, we put dirt on you. I don't like that sound. Hey, wait, I'm going to attack this guy. What else happens up there? Do I ever get to... somebody told me I meet somebody or something. You meet your loved ones. All my loved ones? Yeah, all of them. Wow, what about Barky, my dog? He's going to be there. My dog Barky when I was a little boy, Barky. My father said with a stupid name, Barky, call him Dr. Barky. He's going to be there? Hey, man, is Barky going to be there? No, just dirt. Stop saying dirt. I'm over with this guy. Listen, don't put dirt
so good. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so I love it. Basically, he's playing Pascal's wager. He's going, there isn't evidence on either side. So if you don't have evidence for either side, he's just going to pick the one which has the best final solution. And if there is no God, we're in the dirt when we die. We don't even know we don't exist. We wouldn't even exist because we don't have a consciousness anymore at that point. You're just dirt, which is great thing because he's just like he calls it out so well. Like that belief system means nothing means anything. Everything's meaningless because we're gonna get to a point where we don't even remember anything that's going on right now because we're dead and we have no more conscience. We're gone. So what's the point of any of this? Uh, and the funny thing is he actually gives these very bad depictions for the most part of heaven. These very stereotypical depictions of heaven. I've been recently going through studying Revelation chapter 21, in which John gives us this vision of the new heavens and new earth. Um, God's Jesus says he's coming and he's going to make all things new. So every single thing of creation gets made new, gets fixed. All the problems fixed, righted. It's like a reset. Boom. Earth 2.0, heaven 2.0. They get to be together, heaven and earth. And so all the good things we love of this life, which is not sinful and God pleasing, is going to be there in heaven, minus all the sin, minus all the bad stuff, minus all the horrible hangups that we have because of living in this sinful, fallen world. Uh, and yeah, we get to see our loved ones. But a key thing there that I think Christians, as well as anyone else that's just using the stereotypical imagery, fails to really focus on and think on, which I think just shows our sinfulness too, um, is that we actually get to meet God in heaven. We get to see God in heaven. God dwells with man in heaven, and that's a wonderful good thing. We may be looking forward to just seeing our relatives that have passed before us, our loved ones. Uh, we're probably not looking forward to playing harps, um, just, but and sitting on clouds. But what we see in Revelation is we're not just floating on clouds. We're not just angels. We get new bodies. We get to live as God intended mankind to live when He first made Adam and Eve and the rest of creation. And that's something really good to look forward to. Now, if there's no evidence, of course you should pick that over no point to life, right? Because everything's meaningless. You're going to be dead and in the dirt. Very cool. I love the way he plays that off so with such humor, um, and there's no hatred in the way he presents that, which I just think is a good sign that even the atheist should probably be laughing along at that presentation that he just gave. Um, and in a way, he's even trying to win them over by his little nuances. He says, "Hey, I'm just trying to help you out. Like don't use the word turd." Like he's throwing some. I'm just trying to help you out. Uh, and what he's really doing is, I think, saying you need to consider God. Pretty good. Fun times. Evidence, though. I think if we're gonna go like scientific method as the only means of evidence, there isn't evidence one way or the other because God is off the table and can't be tested by such means. But I really do like the historical evidence approach to God. If there is a God, has He revealed Himself to us in history? Is He capable of revealing Himself to us in history? I think the answer would have to be yes to both of these because they're could type questions. Uh, and then you ask, has He? And you look to the person of Jesus Christ, person of Jesus of Nazareth, and you see everything in history to tell you that God has shown Himself to mankind and has proven Himself to be our all sufficient Savior. And since I mentioned my book earlier, that is chapters like 4 and 5 of Contradict. I show how all religions can't be true because they contradict each other. And then I ask which one's true, if any. And I lay out the historical evidence. So check out my book and keep watching Norm Macdonald. He gives you some really good insights, I think, especially if you can get past the swearing.